It's the Joe Rude Show, the show where we talk about anything and everything, where nothing is sacred, nothing is watered down, and nothing is PC.
All right, hey folks, this is Joe Rude. It is 14:08 hours on Saturday, the 20th of September, 2025, and it is great to be with you once again from the pimple on the backside of Texas, the beautiful city of Eagle Pass. And of course, as always, we'll do the very best we can to bring you the best quality talk radio we can muster without all the bluster. Welcome to the Joe Rude Show, the cryptocurrency edition of the Joe Rude Show, with our resident crypto psychic, Marisa Lee, who will be joining us here momentarily. So without much more delay, we're going to get the housekeeping stuff out of the way, and then we'll get started here very, very, very quickly. I got to change that. There we go. All right. So right before the show, literally, I was texting with Marisa, and literally just about to hit the go live button, and the power went out. So that's why we're running a little bit late here. We had to wait for the internet to come back on here. So now it is, and we are good. We're good to go. We're very happy that we're okay. Okay. All right. So folks, usual stuff. If you could head over to our website, joeruse.com. That's joeruse.com. Open up the contact form. Send us over any questions, comments, cares, or concerns that you have, any issues that you might be rolling around on the old squirrel wheel inside the head there. Send them on over to us. Let us know what you're thinking. Also, if you could head over to the support page as well and click that support button. And if you're able, have the means to do it, we would really appreciate it if you would help us out with a donation. It could be in any amount. This is a value for value show. So all that simply means is that if you receive anything of value from what we are doing here, all we're asking is you return that value to us in the form of a donation. Now, that could be your time, your talent, your treasure, any number of things. And we would greatly appreciate that. All right, still having a couple little blurps here. So just bear with me. Internet's giving me some trouble. But we're up and running at least, right? That's good. And it's a Saturday. And excited to be here with you. All right. Also, don't forget, if you would, please head over to EzraHealing.com. EzraHealing.com. It's a substantial part of the new wellness paradigm currently being born in North America and around the globe. The global citizenry are no longer satisfied with the sick care version of so-called healthcare. Band-Aid medicine, endlessly treating symptoms rather than root causes, must be abandoned as soon as possible. Patient-centric care must be the priority. We need to transition towards the do-no-harm model of private care that places humanity at the forefront of real health and wellness care. In this model, your entire lifestyle is examined and analyzed to promote and support the totality of your body's integrated systems. Ezra Healing is a solutions-based health promotion and disease prevention grassroots movement that is always evolving to best serve you and your family. So for more information, just head over to EzraHealing.com. That's EzraHealing.com. And make sure you let them know that you heard it right here on the Joe Rude Show. Also, we also want to mention American Hemp Hub. If you haven't checked them out yet, you need to. Just head over to AmericanHempHub.com for some great products, all hemp-based products. They are fantastic. You need to check them out. And when you do, use promo code ROOZ, R-O-O-Z, at checkout to get free shipping on all orders over $40. So head on over there and check them out. All righty. Now, we're going to get into our conversation here with our resident crypto psychic who is waiting here in the wings for us. And bring her on in.
Hi, Joe. How's it going?
Marisa Lee, our resident crypto psychic. It has been a hell of a long time since you and I spoke.
Yeah, I was just thinking that we don't talk enough, Joe.
We don't. We have to talk more.
We do. September is a really, really busy month for me. So
I hear you.
I'm getting some kind of a backlash on my audio.
Look on your screen, on your studio screen, see if you have an echo cancellation.
Oh, yes, I need that. Okay, hold on. Echo cancellation. Audio. I have it selected.
You do? Okay. Let me
Yeah.
see. Yeah. When the power went out, it messed up everything.
Yeah. No, I understand. That's okay.
Is that any better?
Oh my God, that's night and day. That fixed it. Whatever that was. Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you. That's so much better. Okay.
Yeah, I just had to change it. I had to change it on my end, I guess, from broadcasting in stereo. Now we have to go back to mono so I can do the echo cancellation. Oh well, such as such. Anyway. So September's been a crazy month all around. I've been having a hell of a month myself. It's been just absolutely insane at the job site. We're in our survey window for the state to come in here and wreak havoc for a week. So
fun stuff.
Yes, it's been busy. It's been very, very busy. So what have you been up to?
I've been traveling a lot. I've been to 5 states this month already. So I did a show in Columbus that went really, really, really well.
Great.
Let's see, where else did I go? I did a couple private events, and then I also went to New Jersey to take psychic development classes. It's something I do yearly. I do it twice a year, and I love the group that I do this with. I love the teacher. The teacher is top notch, best psychic in the country, hands down. Most talented person I've ever seen. She could do things. She's superhuman. I joke with her all the time that she's superhuman, but she has no ego whatsoever. She's very humble, very kind. And when you see somebody of her caliber and the success that she's had, and she's been on all over TV shows, crime shows, she's done some top-notch stuff. She used to help solve unsolved cases successfully and got a lot of notoriety for it. So she's got no ego. And it's so admirable to watch that, because I've known people that have become very successful, including some of these crypto CEOs, and they just get a crazy ego. And I'm telling you, it's one of the worst things that somebody can develop, especially when they have no self-awareness about it.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, why would you go to New Jersey? Who wants to go to New Jersey? It's like a swamp. But
actually, the area that I was in New Jersey was gorgeous. It's a resort town. I mean, she lives in a very nice area. So I love New Jersey. I love the energy there. But I'm also in a really nice area of New Jersey. So, I haven't really, I mean, when I fly into Newark, I want to get out of Newark as fast as I can. Whenever I rent a car at the airport and I leave Newark, it is always really difficult to navigate those roads, and everybody's mean and everything is congested. I'm like, I want to get out of Newark. So I understand there's certain parts of New Jersey that, are better than others, but I am in a gorgeous area in New Jersey when I take these classes. So.
Oh, that's great though. Southern Jersey, like where Newark is, that's like typical East Coast obnoxious, people, just like New York and all that great stuff. But there are parts of Southern Jersey which are really pretty, and there are parts of Northern New Jersey which are just gorgeous. It's just, I think the southern end of it is more of the swamp area, which everybody talks about the most. So it's not a bad place. It's Jersey. It's the joke of the East. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, I guess.
Not everybody could be a New Yorker, so it's just the way it is.
I'll take New Jersey over New York all day, every day.
Would you really?
Yeah. Especially just driving through, New York traffic is, I feel like it's probably some of the worst in the country. So
it is.
I'll take New Jersey all day, every day over New York.
You know where I think has worse traffic than New York? San Antonio, Texas.
Really?
Has some of the worst traffic, and they're friggin' lunatics. I'm telling you, Texas drivers are friggin' lunatics.
Oh, I totally agree with you on that. Yes.
Yeah, and you can't get like a happy medium either. It's either they drive ridiculously slow, or they drive ridiculously fast and are erratic and all over the place. You can't find that happy medium. So I would rather drive in Manhattan at peak rush hour than drive in San Antonio.
Wow.
That's how bad it is.
Wow. No, I'll tell you what, I've driven through Texas before, and it's like the state that never ends. And I called in so many DUIs. It's ridiculous. I cannot that's one of the things that triggers me. I cannot stand people that
Yeah.
drink and drive. I had a friend that was killed in a drunk driving accident years
Oh,
ago.
sorry.
And so whenever I see somebody intoxicated, I'm constantly calling them in. And I did a lot of that when I drove through Texas for sure.
No, I'm sure. That's very well known. I saw an email. I wish if I would have known we were going to go down this route, I would have had it available for us. But I saw an email not too long ago, maybe like a week ago, where Texas is ranked like the third strictest DUI enforcement in the country. So yeah, it makes sense. It's just
Yeah.
it's terrible down here. It is absolutely terrible. So what cryptos are we looking at now? We haven't talked about much of that.
Well, one of the things that I did in these psychic development classes that I took is I printed out a couple different crypto CEOs, just pictures of them, and I brought them to my class to get feedback from other people. And let's see, we did Algorand, of course, Say, we did ICP, we did Ethereum, and we did Aerodrome Finance. So I've got all kinds of information, and it's so interesting because the information that I have, I kind of kept separately, and I kind of got feedback from other people, and it matched, and I'm like, okay, I know I'm on the right road here. Um, again, I'm going to go back to ego. When some of these crypto CEOs, they hit a certain level of success and notoriety, and they're in the public eye, and they're doing all kinds of interviews and giving speeches. Sometimes this stuff can really get to people's heads, and it changes the energy of them, and it changes the energy of their company a little bit because they're
Mhm.
giving out that certain kind of energy. Now, an ego doesn't mean that you're not going to be successful because I still see a lot of these people being very successful, even if their ego is totally inflated. But there are two people that I really, really love and I want to talk about. And I know the first one is kind of obvious, Stacey Warden. I mean, best of the best when it comes to crypto CEOs. I'll say that. No ego whatsoever, total genuine, head and heart is in the right place. She is on track for some serious, serious success with Algorand and personally. So, Algorand for me is still a huge, huge, huge buy. And I know we've talked about this a little bit, so I'm not like necessarily putting out any new information, but I do have some new information here. Another crypto CEO that I really like is Dominic Williams of ICP. He's phenomenal. He puts passion and love into everything that he does. And he's going to be very, very, very successful. So ICP is a strong buy for me right now. And right now, I think it's in the $4 to $5 range, and it's kind of been stagnant for a few years. But we're going to be entering into a whole new market coming up here very, very soon, where we're going to see a huge shift. Now, we've had some groundwork laid legally where a bunch of different crypto bills have been passed. We've got different regulations in a positive way, not a negative way. And we're also going to see a lot of government funding, and we're also going to see a lot of investment companies dumping billions of dollars into the crypto market here. And there's something also to be said. I heard something about how they're going to put the debt on the blockchain.
Mhm.
And that kind of made me a little bit excited too. Tether was talking about buying up some of that. So I thought that was interesting. We're going to see some big shifts coming up here very, very, very soon. And I know I've been talking about this for a while and it just hasn't happened and hasn't happened and hasn't happened. A lot of this is stemming from Trump. Okay.
Mhm.
And I can't say that one person regulates the whole market or is going to affect the market that much, but there's something about him and his contacts and his plans and this big shift where he's trying to turn everything into crypto. And that is going to be very, very positive for the entire market. It just hasn't totally been executed yet. The plan hasn't been fully executed yet, but we are right around the corner where that is going to happen very, very soon. And that is it's going to make everything go up. It's going to be good. So
So what do you think some of the pros and cons though of being on the blockchain for the national debt, because that's a huge undertaking.
it is. It is. And, I'm not an economist, so I can't say I understand everything probably the way somebody that works in finance does, right? But I feel good about it. I really do. I feel good. It might be a little bit of a drag at first, but I feel that as we see the market caps rise, it's going to be good all around. And I do feel like there's going to be something with Bitcoin that helps us pay off this debt too, where maybe they buy some Bitcoin and then it goes up in value, and we can use that to pay off some of this debt. I mean, he's got to do something. He inherited a mess, and
Agreed.
we had a great economy his first 4 years in office, and then it just tanked. So some people will say that he created this debt, and I don't feel like that's the case. I feel like a lot of this was inherited. So he's a
Oh, absolutely.
businessman. He wants to get things going, and part of the tariffs too, which I don't totally agree with all the tariffs, but I do feel there needed to be some changes. He's a little bit drastic and aggressive with it, which can not be a good thing. But some of the tariff income too is going to go into the blockchain, and that is very exciting to me because those tariffs are a force to be reckoned with for sure.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for my cut of the benefits of this. I remember he promised somewhere along
Yeah.
the way. I listen. Don't get me wrong. I love what the president's doing. I think he's doing a fantastic job overall. If I was giving him a school grade rating, I would give him like an A minus on everything. But I do remember him saying that that we should be getting some kind of a check or something, with all the benefits and that we've been getting from these tariffs, and I've yet to see that. So that would be very nice. And a few other things that he promised too that he still hasn't come through on yet. But I know things take time. Can't fix it overnight. It took 4 years to wreck it. It's going to take a few years to fix it. I get it. But let's.
I totally agree with you on that. I've been just a little bit disappointed with some things too, not moving as fast as, we originally thought, but it is what it is. He's got a lot on his plate. Like, I do not envy him. The amount of just crap that he deals with on a day-to-day basis is beyond anything that we can even imagine. So,
Sure.
it's just one of those things we kind of have to be patient. I do think the financial markets are going to start to move for sure
Well, I
soon.
think
So,
so too. Like I said, it took him 4 years to wreck it. It's going to take a few years to fix it, and that's just the way it works. It's like I guess the best analogy would be like a cruise ship out in the middle of the ocean. You can't just hit the brakes, and turn the thing around. It has to slow down gradually. And
yeah.
I think that's kind of where we are. But some of the things that I'm worried about as far as putting the national debt in the blockchain is, the debt's what, $33 trillion, right? That's huge. And from what I've been, because after you and I kind of exchanged some ideas on this, you know, blockchains like Bitcoin, Ethereum, they already struggle with high volume,
Hmm.
right? So how I don't I'm worried about those technical challenges that putting a $33 trillion debt into the blockchain would bring about.
Hmm.
Um, that's one thing that I'm concerned about. Another thing is like security too. I mean, granted, blockchains are secure, but they're not immune to attacks either.
Hmm.
And any kind of a breach that takes place would have catastrophic economic consequences to that. So that's something else you got to consider. And what about
And
cost?
that's a good point. That's a very, very solid point, especially with Ethereum. Now they've had some upgrades where it's moving a little bit faster. Their fees have decreased significantly from where they were, let's say, 2 years ago. I mean, I remember sending like $60 worth of crypto to a wallet, and they were like, "Oh, we're going to charge you $100." I'm like, I'm not paying
Oh,
that. And now it's normal. Now it's like, less than $1 or a few cents or whatever. So Ethereum's had some significant upgrades, but there is still more to be had. Is that gonna sustain when we're in the $30 trillion mark for the total crypto market cap? I don't know. I guess we'll see.
but also, I think it also would have to have some kind of uh, like a massive upfront investment in infrastructure in order to do this, because you got to do training, you got to do system integration, with all the existing financial systems that are in place. Um, and then you have the outdated stuff that the government itself uses, like Treasury. Like they may not be able to easily integrate with blockchain stuff. So it's going to be a huge upfront cost, I think, in my opinion. I'm not a
These these crypto companies, though, they have crazy amounts of money. So I wouldn't be too worried about them not having the resources to be able to make these upgrades. They're gonna be totally fine.
You think? Oh, we'll see.
Mhm,
Well, you never know.
mhm.
And then another issue for me that is really big is centralization. That's a very big concern for me because a government managed blockchain, they're going to need central control over that. You know,
Mm.
and that, of course, the whole point of blockchain, the whole point of crypto is where it's all decentralized.
Right,
So a lot of that's gonna change, and then, of course, you have, you know, if the government doesn't like something you're saying or you're thinking, they could shut you off,
right.
you know? And that's something else you gotta take into consideration. So I don't know, there's a lot of pros also. I mean, there's good stuff, there's bad stuff, there's, uh, I guess one of the pros would be transparency, all right? Everything is out in the open, the way blockchains from what I've been reading is blockchain's public ledger ensures that all transactions related to national debt, like bond issues and interest payments, would be transparent. They would be traceable. Um, uh, then and of course, once I guess that there's fraud reduction at least. Um, Security on the crypto on the blockchain is it's not it's it's infinitely better than I think what the government has itself. But again, the problem is public trust, public perception, um, accessibility. You have the global accessibility of the blockchain. So, and there are positives, there are negatives, and it's something it's not necessarily a bad idea to do it, but I think we have to weigh in all of these things first. And I hope they really take all this stuff into consideration. My biggest concern is that centralized control over it. That's my big
Yeah,
concern. Anything the government puts their hands into, they end up wrecking anyway. So,
true.
you know, that's why I'm dead set. I'm not dead set against it. Let me rephrase that. I'm cautious about it. I don't know if that's going to work or not. But
Yeah.
who am I? I'm not a
I guess we'll
an
see. I do think
economist.
that there is definitely truth to what you're saying. Absolutely. I mean, anytime, the government's involved in anything, it becomes a mess, right? Um, I'll say that the centralized banks right now are nervous about Tether. They're because Tether's offering higher APR returns on
Mhm.
like just having your money there versus a savings account. So a lot of their liquidity is going to be put into the blockchain instead of into the centralized banks. And you know what? Good. 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 I'm sick and tired of the banks controlling everything and thinking
Mhm.
that they can do whatever and whatnot. Some of these crypto, I'll say this. I talk to a lot of people and I do individual crypto reviews for their portfolio, right? I've had so many people this month tell me that their account is frozen, their exchange is frozen, and they can't
Hmm.
get it unfroze, and I'm like, and they have a lot of money in these exchanges, and that's why I always encourage people, cold wallet storage, do not leave it in any exchange. Get a ledger, get an Arculus, get some cold wallet storage, transfer it, and I know it's a little bit nerve-wracking because then it's like, "Okay, well, what if something happens? What if my house burns down? What if somebody breaks in?" You have to take those precautions too, so, it is a little bit risky in that sense as well, but there's always risk. I'd rather risk that than, leave it up to an exchange to unfreeze my account just because they randomly decided to freeze it and there's all this money that they don't wanna pay out, and that happens. So, I don't know, it's a catch-22 with pretty much anything you do.
Yeah, big. I know everything's a risk. But that's the thing with investments. It's a risk that you have to be willing to take. So
Yeah.
that's why we still have our little ticker here that we put up there. Not financial advice. Invest at your own risk.
Yes,
We keep
for
that thing
sure,
going.
for sure.
Um, so so yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot there, but yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see how it goes. Now, the last time we spoke, we were talking about the bull run.
Mhm.
So where are we at with the bull run?
I'm a little bit disappointed, not gonna lie. I expected the bull run to be here by now, I really did. Now we've seen some spikes up in the market, and maybe that was what I was picking up on intuitively, but I still see a big boom coming, like big boom. I feel like there is something around Trump pulling the strings for the bull run. getting all the all the major investment companies to dump a bunch of money in all at the same time. So there's like a go button, right?
Mhm.
So uh but it just keeps on getting delayed for this, for that, for this, for that, and I'm like, "Oh, come on, just press the damn button already. Let's get some
Do you
money
think
into the market."
do you think, I'm not sure how much involvement there is with this, but do you think that this whole back and forth with the Fed, with, the adjustment of interest rates is slowing things down?
Yes, absolutely. Yes. I feel like there needed to be some framework laid out, like where um, crypto laws were passed, interest rates are down. Preferably, world peace would be great, but whatever. That they're still working on that one. But we have what we need now, so it's just a matter of time. And I feel like there is a very deep sadness with the passing of Charlie Kirk in the whole country, and that really affected the president as well. So, um, but he's one of those, he works when he grieves.
Mhm.
Like he's not like, he'll be emotional privately. He will not be emotional publicly. He wants to give that strong persona, and I feel like that really hit him at the core. So
I agree.
he's dealing with that right now. And then you also have to revamp your own security when something like that happens, and you got to worry about the safety of your family even more so, and beef this up and beef that up. I don't know why anybody is doing anything outside. That just baffles me. Nobody should be having any kind of political debates or any kind of political event outside. um it needs to be inside where people go through metal detectors. I mean, these are basic things that should be done for everybody, any influencer as well. The thing that's difficult with that, though, is it's expensive. It's expensive to bring in these machines and to have the security team go through everything, So, but in my opinion, it's worth it. I mean, after what happened, I think we all learned a big lesson, and I think it's going to inspire a lot of people to speak up. So,
I think so too. I know that, there were quite a few people that have been talking about, picking up the trail where Charlie Kirk left off with going out to the schools and doing uh, open air debates. One of them being Alex Jones. I heard him mention it on his show last week that he's going to be going out there and doing this. So that's going to be interesting, and I'm sure other people are going to be getting involved as well. I just
well, he needs to worry about security.
yeah,
Sorry, I
he
didn't mean to
does.
interrupt. He needs to worry
No.
about security, really and truly. He's a big target.
Oh, huge, absolutely, and, he acknowledged that himself, when he was talking about it, but, I guess the whole point of it is that, we're not people are not gonna be, scared or terrorized, it's because it is a terrorist activity. People aren't gonna be
Mhm.
terrorized and pushed into they're back up against the wall and discontinued these dialogues, because when you do that, when you run away from it, then you're basically surrendering to it, so, um you have if you're gonna do it, you gotta do it smart.
Mhm.
You gotta make sure you have the proper security, you gotta vet your security, uh, so carefully and so detailed. You just can't, randomly, hire people to come protect you for these things. I know that's not how it works. I've been on the inside of that stuff. I know how it does. But, you really have to be extra careful right now because, these radical groups are infiltrated into so many police departments and so many private security firms and so many different ways that you really do have to be careful, and that's the whole point of terrorist activity is that they keep you unsettled and they keep you uh, um, constantly looking over your shoulder. But you can't let them win in that way. You have to continue on with life. You have to continue on doing the things you do, and you have to keep on working, especially for what Charlie Kirk did. He did some amazing things. I'm not going to say that I watched everything that he did. I followed him. I would check out his show every now and then. Anytime I would see a Charlie Kirk clip, I would check it out. I like the things that he had to say, and I think he was doing a fantastic job in bringing dialogue to the seat of the liberal heart. The college universe, the college campuses, the university campuses, um, and one of the things that he did that was so important was that he got people to think critically.
Mhm.
You know, you can come up there and you can, you know, everybody was welcome to come to the microphone, but he would challenge you to think critically. You know, why do you believe what you believe? You know, explain it, define it. And he wasn't doing it in a way to demean anybody. He was just trying to get people to think about their positions,
Right.
and you know, and to keep that dialogue going and keep talking. And he gave the left exactly what they always cry about in moments like this. So we have to keep dialogue. We have to talk. We have to keep talking about things. We have to talk things out. Talk, 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 talk. Well, he did that.
Mhm.
He went there. He brought it to them, and he got shot for it.
Yeah.
You know, and to me, that just shows that the far left isn't interested in the dialogue. They're not really
Yeah.
interested. They may say they are, but they're
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. No, for
it's a
sure.
very, very sad state. I'll be honest with, you know, I've never met Charlie Kirk. I never spoke to him. I don't know anything other than what I've seen, you know, on his show and what people have talked about in his life and the clips and stuff that I've seen. But that day, I it was like a gut punch. You
Yeah.
know, I didn't even want to come on my show that night and do it because I didn't want to talk about it. You know,
Yeah.
so it was hard. It was very, very hard. And then you put that event right next to 9/11, the memorial for that. You know, it was a really, really
Yeah.
hard week, and a lot of people, you know, this affected a lot of people. A lot of people felt the same way.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I can't say that I agreed with everything Charlie did and said, but I
And you
respected
should.
him for doing what he did. Nonviolent, let's talk it out. Let's debate it. We can have a difference of opinion. Thank you. Have a nice
Mhm.
day. You know, I, you know, what really got me with that was I thought about his wife and his kids.
Who were
I
there?
was so upset for them, for that loss that they're experiencing and it in such a public way. And I know ultimately they're going to be okay. They have a lot of support around them. You know, they had a huge fundraiser. They're going to be totally fine. I do know that, but it's just gut wrenching for me thinking about the kids, you know, and I do think down the road she will remarry. It's not going to be right away. But she's going to be a force. She is going to be loud once she's in a little bit better of a place, when she's done grieving. So my heart really goes out to that family for sure.
Yeah, he, as a matter of fact, I think it was yesterday or so that that she was appointed as the to take over his position at Turning Point USA. So now she's running the whole thing. Um, yeah, it was terrible, and from what I understand, his family was there. They were behind the tent when that happened. So
Yeah.
you know, you have no idea how this is going to affect the kids growing up.
Mhm.
It's not like they're going to be shielded from it. They'll be able to see it over and over and over again. You know, they'll be able to access the videos and files and whatnot over time. And you know, it's things that it's going to be with them for a very, very long time. You know, and
Yeah.
it's a horrible, horrible thing. And you know, it shouldn't happen. It shouldn't happen at all, right or left. I mean, but the interesting thing is, though, is that you never see this happen on the right. You know, this is it's always the far left. It's always the left.
Mhm.
You know,
Well, wait a
and
minute. Hold on, hold on. Um, there was a Democrat that was murdered in Minnesota, right? And then there was another one that was shot like 9 times but lived, correct? And that happened this summer. That happened in June, I believe. I forgot who it
yeah,
was, but
but they weren't the difference with that is that they weren't people that were known to everybody, and what
yeah.
I'm not trying to sound cold about it, but you know, they didn't have a public name, they weren't on the public stage, they weren't in the public eye, they weren't targets of people that were outright saying that they were going to kill them and they wanted them silenced and all that stuff. Horrible, absolutely. I mean, it's terrible. Any loss of life in
Yeah.
that way is absolutely disgusting. It should never happen. But those people, you know, they weren't a public figure. They weren't people that none of us knew about until it happened. You know,
Yeah.
Charlie Kirk, on the other hand, you know, very public figure,
Yeah. No, it's
and
true.
out there in the open. You know, so it's a horrible thing, just no matter what, no matter how you look at it, and it just should never happen. It honestly
Yeah.
should never happen. It was like, again, a gut punch. It really, really,
Yeah.
truly was. And I
Yeah.
don't know, but this is a defining moment, though.
It
What
is.
direction are we going to go? I mean, you look. I don't know if you're up on it. Um, I was trying to find the clip, but I just couldn't find it. Maybe let me look while we're talking here. Oh, by the way, guess who sent me a private message
Who?
on X? Um, Stacy.algo. Stacy W.
Really? Did she
Yeah, but
really?
well, according to this, I don't know if that's really her or not, but sent a message. Great connecting. How was the weekend?
Oh, it was just like a general thing. It could have been a copycat then, probably.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if that's really her, but
Yeah. Would after this show, text me a screenshot of it.
oh, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Let me see. I want to see if did I bookmark it?
Hmm.
Let me see. No, I guess I didn't. But there was this whole episode that took place in Congress the other day. Rashida Tlaib and Byron Donalds got into it, a very heated exchange, because of course Rashida Tlaib is on the far left, and here she is, and she's over here calling Republicans again fascists and Nazis and all that stuff, and it blew up into this whole big argument that took place in this public forum in Congress. And then you have also when Mike Johnson wanted to have the chamber come to a moment just of prayer for Charlie Kirk and his family, how the left reacted to that by shouting and screaming, no, 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 and it just causing, just all kinds of chaos in the People's House. And I think at this point, this is a very, very interesting time to see how this country is going to move forward from this. This is a very this issue that what happened with Charlie Kirk is I think a defining moment.
Mhm.
You know, how is this country going to move forward from this? You have two completely diametrically opposed points of view, and and just seeing how our elected officials are handling this and reacting to it. It's very disturbing to see,
Yeah.
how they're all acting about this. But the one thing I will say, though, is if you look around and you look at when George Floyd died, right? What happened? The left went apoplectic. They burned
Yeah.
down cities. They looted stores, trashed everything. What happened when Charlie Kirk died? None of
Nothing.
that.
Yeah.
It was all prayer vigils, prayer meetings,
That's a good
quiet,
point. It's a good point.
contemplative. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you have two extreme views on display right there.
Mhm.
Which direction is this
Well,
country
and
going?
there's also groups, though, that were paid to riot. I mean, we have to
Oh,
call that
sure.
what
Yeah.
it is.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was ridiculous. And then you get a bunch of like lower intelligence level people joining them and just becomes this big problem.
Yeah, they're agitators,
that
and
was
then
terrible.
yeah,
Yeah,
they're
it
the
was
hired agitators. They come in, they start
yeah.
everything off, and get everybody else worked up around it, and then they just kind of like back away from it and let the rest of it go.
Well, and there's more awareness of it now. And
Yeah,
Trump declared Antifa a terrorist organization
yes,
recently.
yeah.
So I thought that was
Well, no,
interesting.
no, he's going to. He still hasn't done
Oh,
it.
okay.
He still there has to be he has to do like I guess an executive order to do it. It
Yeah.
still hasn't done that. He's talked about it. He said he's going to, but it still hasn't happened yet.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's not. I believe that he is going to do it. He just
Yeah.
hasn't done it yet.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
it's a very, very interesting time. You see that, and that's more and more why I believe in Texas independence. This flag behind me here.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll see what happens. We shall see. So I want to get back to the crypto stuff though,
Yes.
quickly, because I like XRP a lot, and you introduced me to that. So where do you think XRP is going to go with this bull run?
$5 easy. Yeah, we're teetering on the $3 point, and I wanna say
Mhm.
last month we were in the low 2s. So it's gone up a little bit over the course of the last month. I think that there's some anticipation that XRP is going to start moving big time. So a lot of retail investors stocked up on it with this anticipation. And $5 is right around the corner. And it's just going to continue to climb. Now, listen, after the bull run, we're going to have a big correction here. I think that some cryptos are going to lose up to 50% of their
Wow.
value. But not all of them. Not all of them. So some might do 40%, some might do 30, some might be corrected, 20%. Whatever. It's going to be a big correction though. It's going to scare people. And that's why I really want to get that message out. And that's something that I've been stressing on my Patreon and my TikTok. Get ready for that dip after the bull run. The bull run's not going to last long. Maybe it's a day, maybe it's a week. I mean, we are not talking multiple weeks here. We're not talking multiple months. We're gonna have a big spike up and then bam, it's gonna crash. So if you make moves at the right time, you can make a lot of money, but you have
We
to
like
make those moves.
No, absolutely, absolutely. And speaking of your TikTok, I saw a video that you posted on your TikTok about buying fractional real estate on Lofty using the Algorand network. What's that all about?
So that was something I kind of just learned about this week, and I did a little bit more research. Now, I have been so incredibly busy. I can't even tell you how busy I am, Joe. Like from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed, like I am doing something when it comes to work, whether it's giving a reading, whether it's doing like reviewing somebody's portfolio or making some content for TikTok or Patreon or whatnot. So I'm just so busy. I haven't had a chance to research things as much as I've wanted to, but I did get a little bit of an opportunity to do more research on Lofty. So this is how it works. Now, this is all built on the Algorand network, which is what caught my attention.
Mhm.
Basically, what you can do is you buy tokens for different real estate properties. Okay. And you get daily rental income on every token that you own. And tokens are anywhere from like $30 to $50, right? They're not expensive. Um, and you can connect your crypto wallet. You can buy it with crypto, or you can use a credit or a debit card, whatever. And you can just leave it in your account, and it's all done on the blockchain. All your assets are held on the blockchain. So you'll have they set you up with a crypto wallet where you have your own private keys and stuff like that. So I did not put a lot of money into this though. I did a little bit more research, and I see that there are a lot of people that invest money in this, and it doesn't pay off the way that you would expect it to. Um, I think they're overselling the property slightly, and the people running this are taking a little bit too much for themselves. And that's
Mhm.
a shame because the concept of this is gold. If somebody could do this in a more honest fashion, not take too much money out of it, um, and run it properly and offer a fair deal to people, I think this could be something that makes a crazy amount of money. So, anyways, I'm still learning about it. There are some properties that pay off better than others. I bought a little bit into it, not a whole lot. I was gonna put a few $100 into it just to get started. I'm like, you know what? Something told me not to. So I only threw like $50 into it, and so far I'm like, I don't know. We'll see what happens. It's not something that I would recommend people throw thousands of dollars into, but there are certain properties that you can buy on this that have a higher yield. So I kind of want to see how this goes over time. Now, here's the thing. When we talk about investments, you want your investments, even though you want to stay diversified, you still want the most return for your money, right? So
Of
you're
course,
going to
yeah.
get that way better just being a retail crypto investor than you will being in Lofty. But there is something to be said about staying diversified again. So, um, I like it for a small investment, not a large investment right now. I'm still on the fence of it. So,
So I've never heard of this until you mentioned it to me, and I saw your video. Um, I don't even know what fractional real estate is.
so basically, what they do is they buy a property, like a rental property. They fix it up and they rent it out. And you can buy a fraction of that real estate. So let's say a property costs $200,000. Let's say you want to buy a condo or something like that and you want to rent it out. So everybody can pitch in and own a little part of that $200,000 property, small amounts, and then you get a little bit of that rental income. So, and you also get the appreciation of the real estate. And you see, here's the thing, like the real estate right now is so inflated. So that's a whole nother thing. Like I wouldn't be looking to purchase properties right now. And maybe that's more of my hesitation with Lofty right now than anything.
Okay.
Instead of like, throwing thousands of dollars into it, is the real estate market's inflated. So I do feel like the cost of real estate is going to start to come down a little bit, especially with interest rates coming down. And I do think there's going to be another cut coming. This 0.025%. I mean, that's shortcomings, like, in my opinion.
I agree.
Jerome Powell
Yeah.
could have done better, but we all know, he's a disappointment. Honestly, I'm very
At
disappointed in him.
least.
Shame on him. Shame on him.
And that's another thing that um it just irritates me, is that you have the president of the United States can appoint people to the Federal Reserve, which, by the way, doesn't even exist, shouldn't even exist.
I
You
agree.
know,
Mhm.
this was a scheme and a plan that was set up by Wilson in the early 1900s, and it's just been a disaster ever since the Federal Reserve was established. It's just wrecked the economy over and over and over again. Um, so, and I just find it very funny that the president of the United States can appoint people to the Federal Reserve, but he can't remove them once they've been appointed to the Federal Reserve,
Mm.
without having to go through all these legal challenges and having to go to the Supreme Court to have the Supreme Court uphold the removal of one of these Federal Reserve governors. So ugh.
Yeah, it
The Federal
doesn't
Reserve
sound
needs to go.
normal. They
Yeah,
do. They really do. Well, Ron Paul years ago was his whole thing was end the Fed.
mhm,
He's been speaking for a long time, like that
yeah.
is fraudulent organization and it kind of makes you think. Yeah, for sure. I
Yeah,
mean,
you have these unelected people basically controlling the economy of the United States
right. It's scary.
with no
It's scary.
accountability.
Mhm. If it's
It's
one thing
ridiculous.
I can say about President Trump is I do feel that he is going to get the financial markets going. It's it's going to be one of those things where that saying she's not pretty but she'll do.
Yeah,
It's gonna be like that. It's gonna be that's how I describe how the financial markets are gonna go. She ain't pretty, but she'll do. Like it's gonna go up and then it's gonna go down, but then it's gonna start sustaining higher. So he's gonna get the financial markets going. And it's not a pretty process, but it's gonna work. It's gonna work
yeah.
long term. It's gonna take time, but yeah.
No, I totally understand. I agree, and I think it's just getting over these hurdles, man. Like I said back in the beginning of the show, it took 4 years to wreck it. It's going to take a few years to fix it. It's just
Yeah.
it's a slow process. It just have to just let it work its way through. I think we are going to start to see the benefits of all the tariffs. I think don't forget, the country built itself on tariffs. There was no income tax up until the 1913 or so. Uh, so the idea that tariffs aren't beneficial is bullshit. To be honest with you, I think they are, and we've been tariffed by countries all over the world for many, 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 many years. It's not a new thing. This is not something that they pulled out of a hat. This is an old way of doing business, and it works. It's
Yeah.
effective, and you just got to give it the chance to do it. And but I would like to see my cut.
I know, right? Well,
I'm so harping on
right.
that. I know.
There's pros and cons to everything. And I can tell you, I know people that work in the logistics industry that hate the tariffs, and it has just caused them so many problems. It's not perfect.
No, nothing's perfect.
It really isn't. It really isn't. But I do think we need to kind of start seeing some benefits. If this is what's happening, it's like, where's the benefits?
I
I
agree.
don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a good question.
Yeah. Let's get moving on it. All right. So before I let you go, believe it or not, we do have a question that was submitted by email
Okay.
From one of our listeners. When will cryptos become more user friendly? It's like learning to speak Swahili.
Yeah. So here's the reality of the situation. We're all in the beginning stages of this. So we're all learning. Um, I feel like over the course of the next year, it's going to be a little bit easier. I think the thing that people really struggle with is moving their crypto to cold wallet storage. So my advice is like if you have a Ledger, if you have an Arculus, those are the two that I really like the most. Go into YouTube and type in specifically what you're looking for, how to move Algorand, from Coinbase into a ledger called wallet storage, and watch the tutorials. And it's really a matter of just copying one address to the other. But that is where people are really struggling. And I recommend that when people do that, you start with a very small amount of crypto until you move larger amounts, right? You want to make sure that you're doing it correctly. Because I can't tell you how many people I talk to. They're like, I lost my crypto because I did this wrong. And I'm like, so I actually made contact with a tech guy that I think I'm going to be working with, that I'm going to recommend to people, where he can help walk them through that process. Because I just don't have the time to do it, nor do I really have the desire. I'd rather talk to you about where you should put it rather than like how to get it into a wallet, because that's very time consuming.
Yeah, I
So
understand that. All
no.
right. Well, hopefully that was a satisfactory answer to our friend here. So, anything else for us before we wrap this baby up?
Anything else? Okay. This is what I recommend you buy right now. And this is not financial advice. This is my psychic prediction and my personal opinion. Right now, I am buying Algorand. Of course, I'm always buying Algorand. It's not going to be in the 20-cent range forever. I'll tell you that. I mean, we're going to look back at Algorand in a year and be like, man, I wish I bought more Algorand. Even if you have a lot right now, you're still going to wish you had more. Nobody can have enough Algorand in their wallet. Just saying. Okay. I would be buying ICP, especially after doing the analysis on the CEO there, and like his intentions and good karma. I'm telling you, it matters. Okay. I would be buying ICP. I'd be buying a crypto called Morpho, Morpho. This is a lending crypto. I just did a review on this on my Patreon, and somebody asked me to review it, and I was like, ooh, this one's a gem. I like Morpho.
Actually, I saw that one pop up on I use Brave as my browser, and actually an article about that popped up on the Brave browser, and I have it bookmarked. I haven't read it yet, but that caught my attention. So I'm glad you mentioned it.
Yeah, well, crypto lending is going to be huge because we're going to be getting more off of the centralized banking system, and we're going to be more decentralized. So, Moonwell is also a lending crypto. I like Moonwell. Um, let's see. I like Pyth, Pyth, and of course, SEI. Those are the cryptos that I'm personally buying right now. And those are the ones that I recommend people stack up on now. Like, so the crypto market's starting to go up a little bit, but we're going to have a huge, huge bull run coming up here soon. I think it could happen in as little as a week, maybe 2 weeks even. I keep on saying that, and I'm kind of tired of putting out predictions for the bull run, because it's like maybe I should just stop talking about it. I don't know, but we are right on the brink of it. So just hang in there, keep buying crypto, and things are going to get really good soon. And when they're good, it's going to be so worth the wait. I mean, people are going to make tens of thousands of dollars depending on how much money you have in the market. I mean, you could easily make 10 times your money in overnight. I mean, it's going to be crazy money. So
All right.
life-changing
Well,
money.
I've made my list. I'll be checking it twice, and I'll make
Yeah.
sure that I get on some of this stuff here too, and throw some more money into the crypto markets. I've been loving Algorand, to be honest with you, ever since you mentioned it. XRP too. I've got quite a bit now in both of those, and I can't say I'm unhappy. I mean, obviously, you have your ups and downs. It happens. That's the way it is. That's investing. But overall, I can't say I'm unhappy with it. I like what I'm seeing with it, and the more good things that I hear, the happier I get, and especially when Stacy private messages me on X.
Yeah, the Stacy that's not really Stacy. Yeah.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
One of these days, I'm going to track her down, and I'm going to make her be friends with me. That's going to be my goal. No, seriously, I want to be friends with her at some point.
Well, she's my friend apparently, so
yeah.
I'll introduce you guys.
Awesome. Thanks, Joe. I appreciate
no problem.
the
Because
connection.
it's that vast network that I work within. It's just one of those things.
Yeah.
And I have like 30 Elon Musks following me.
Oh, I'm sure. There's a lot of bots on X. I actually lost like 1,000 or 2,000 followers on X because all their accounts just got wiped. I'm like, how many bots were following me? That's so weird.
Yeah,
It's
what
just
other
weird.
platform is loaded with bots is Getter. Have you ever tried Getter?
Mm-mm.
Gettr. Yeah, it's the one that Bannon's really involved with, Steve Bannon. And so I had an account there for the longest time. I just hardly ever used it. And so I don't want to say I reactivated. I just finally logged back into it. And I had like so many followers like waiting, and I was like, all right, something's going through. And I noticed a pattern. You know, they all start with the letter, and then have a string of numbers after that, and then a letter and a string of numbers after that. And you know, it's all bots. It's all bots. There's like very little interaction with anybody, like regular people. It's all bots. And I think that's the big problem here with a lot of the social media stuff, is that
Oh
it's
yeah.
just overloaded with this automation stuff. Is just ridiculous, and it makes you not even want to waste your time doing it, because it's just, I don't
Yeah.
want to interact with a bot. I want to interact with people. You know, I want
Right.
people to follow me. I don't want, you know, it does me no good to have 1,000 bots following me. You know, it really
Yeah.
does.
It's
So
pointless. Yeah, for sure.
exactly. So what's the point? All right. So Marisa Lee, where can we find you and follow you and get a hold of all your stuff?
Well, I put all my crypto predictions on Patreon. So patreon.com/crypto psychic. And then my website is sacredtarotcardreadings.com. And all my socials are on there as well.
Okay. Yeah, I needed your Patreon too, because I don't have it for the show notes. So thank you. So I'll make sure I add that to it as well. All right. Well, Marisa Lee, we're going to close out the show here. So I got my little spiel I got to go through. I don't know if you want to stick around for all that, but it's another 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah,
All right.
why don't you call me after you're done
Will
with
do.
that?
You bet.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Take care, Joe. Thank you
You
so
too.
much.
No, thank
Okay,
you. I
bye.
appreciate it. And I'll talk to you in a little bit. All right. Marisa Lee, folks. Marisa Lee with our resident crypto psychic. I like that term, the resident crypto psychic. All right, folks, Podhome.fm is the most modern, easy to use podcast hosting platform that you can get yourself onto. You can use it to publish your episodes, enhance your audio, automatically generate transcripts, chapters, titles, show notes, and more. And you can even podcast live. That's right. You can do your podcast live. We're doing it right now. We are streaming live across all the modern podcast platforms out there. And you can do that too. Just head over to podhome.fm, sign up today, get 30 days free, and then it's $15.99 a month thereafter. So try it out. There's a lot of great features on this thing. It is a great platform to be on, and you're going to be really happy with it. You really do feel like you have a whole team working with you with all the features that are available to you. And one of the things that is also available that they don't really mention too much, which they should, is that if you're just starting out with your podcast, you don't have a website, they will provide a website for you. Not a bad deal for $15.99 a month. You could go to any one of the larger platforms and you'll be paying double, maybe even triple what you'd be paying at Podhome for all the services that they provide. So check them out, podhome.fm, podhome.fm. All right. And folks, don't forget to sign up for the programming announcements email list that we have on our website. Just when you go to the homepage, a little pop-up window is going to show up right there. Just fill it out. Get yourself on the email list. We don't sell your information. We don't share your information. Everything stays here with us. And it's free, which means it don't cost you nothing. So sign up for it. Get on the mailing list. It is important for us to have the mailing list because it's the easiest way for us to let you know about any upcoming shows and changes and things like that. So get on the mailing list and stay in the know. All right. As we were talking earlier, don't forget our socials on Twix, at Joe Ruse, Twitter, X, Twix, Truth Social, at Joe Ruse, mine's Joe Ruse, Facebook, The Joe Ruse Show, not Joe Ruse on Instagram, TikTok, Joe.Ruse, and Joe Ruse on Getter. All right. Shout outs to our producing team, executive producers, Wayne Rankin, Rosanna Rankin, Carolina Jimenez, and our resident crypto psychic, Marisa Lee. Thank you guys so much. Also to our producer, Anonymous Angela. Thank you guys so much for all that you guys do. And folks, our team here, they donate their time, their talent, and their treasure. And that's the way they help us out. So we really appreciate that. We wouldn't be able to do what we're doing without it. So again, thank you to our producing team. You guys are the best. All right. Now, if you want to help out in that way, you could do that very easily by heading over to the support page on the website. Just look for the associate producer is $17.76 a month. Producer is $18.36 a month. Executive producer is $25 and up a month. All right. All of you get the same shout out that you just heard. You also get included in those show notes, all of the emails and anything that go out from the show. And as the executive producers, you get to have an 30-minute block with us, or maybe an hour, depending on the day, on the show here with us live. So you can interact with the audience as well, and they can see who it is that's helping us put all this together. So head over to the website, joerouge.com, look for that support page, and sign up for one of the producer tiers. All right. Also, if you want to just do a one-time donation, you can do that as well, or a recurring donation in any amount whatsoever, you can do that as well. Again, it's a value for value show. So if you're getting any value from what we're putting out, we're asking you to return that value in the form of that donation, time, talent, or treasure. All right. So we appreciate that. Also, you could donate cryptos. All our crypto wallet information is up on the support page as well. And again, thank you to the folks that are listening on the modern podcast apps to the live stream right now. And thank you for the sats that you guys are streaming over to us. We really do appreciate that. Sats are just micropayments of Bitcoin. It's really not all that much, but we appreciate them. They are great. And you can get these modern podcast apps like Podcast Guru, Fountain.fm, TrueFans.fm, Podverse, Pocket Casts, CurioCaster, Podhome. All of that stuff is available to you at modernpodcastapps.com and podcastindex.org. All right. I think that should just about do it for us for this Saturday edition of the Joe Rouge Show, cryptocurrency episode with our crypto psychic, Marisa Lee. All right, folks, thank you again so much for being with us. Don't forget, make Texas independent again. Go podcasting. Keep a steady stride. Keep talking. Good night, folks. We'll see you tomorrow.
Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Keep smiling until then.
Who cares about the clouds if we're together?
Just sing a song and bring the sunny weather. Happy trails to you till we meet again.
Some trails are happy ones.
Others